Milwaukee has never had an elected black mayor. We have had an interim black mayor who was defeated by the current Mayor Barrett. What do you and kind of putting that in contrast with similar cities like Detroit, for example, have had a lot of a lot of African American leadership and a lot of strong black mayors. Um, why do you think that is? I want to hear your thoughts on the lack of black mayors and strong black leadership to the point of mayoral stance, and how do you think that has an effect on the city of Milwaukee and the community?
Wow, that's a very interesting question. Really depends on how you view the construct of race. Um, I am a person who was raised in a very Christian family, uh, biblically oriented, trained, taught, studied person. And we learn in our rites of passage, which is our baptism, that you need to first see yourself as a human being. Um, that our Lord did not create races, but humankind. And as my elders would tell me, they would say, to see yourself as a human is to be able to understand your freedom. You will never know your freedom until you see yourself as a human. It's okay if the world see you as black or African American, but you are essentially a human. And it go on to say that to live a human existence give you unabated access to other human beings. It's through that access that you gain your greatest education. It's through that education that you develop your deepest understanding of humanity. And it's through that deep understanding of humanity that human relations, human causes, humanitarian type activities then consume you, and you become a part of working for the betterment of the human condition, regardless of how they're socially constructed. So when I look at black mayors, what I've found in people like Coleman Young, Dave Bing right now, Sharon Sells Belton in Minneapolis, Cory Booker out in Newark, and the other ones are around the country, and the people that support them, even Dellum, who is out in Oakland, and some of the other folks, is that they are folks who come to the table concerned about the community's condition. It's not that they don't understand the socioeconomic plight of say, black Milwaukee or black Oakland or whatever. And if there's a need to put attention on that for the betterment of the community, they do it. I think that people in Milwaukee, being someone who's grown up here, who have friends that live on College Avenue on the south side, who played at Kosciuszko Park, as we call it on the north side, or over to Burnham Park, where I hit my first home run, or Lincoln Park, or Kilbourne, or Washington, or Sherman. I made the city my hometown, the lakefront, every place of it. I had to consume all of it, and it really never seen that any place was off limits to me. Even when I tell the story about me and my friends going on a journey that got me in trouble seeing the mayor, I went from 11th and Lloyd Street to the Mitchell Dome to downtown to see the mayor at his office, and I was 13 years old, which is what my father got upset about. But we're on this journey, but I just saw the city as my place, and the more I could be exposed to other human beings, my education about Milwaukee and about those people, I just became enriched, and nothing was going to ever eliminate that. I think I see that characteristic in those mayors, that they are people that can rise to the human cause And because they have, they've been able to change the socioeconomic conditions of the community. Race is not a barrier. They see it as an asset. They see the diversity of a community that is important and rich, and that richness is what makes the metropolis that more exciting, because it's so many great educational opportunities. And then as a public administrator, you have to capture that. You have to capture that and use it to the advantage of the community. Chicago, they captured the Chinese, and now they have Chinatown, which is a tourism destination. In Minneapolis, they captured this rich ethnic immigrant community that's come in. They have now what they call the global market. Have you ever been to Mall of America and see the diversity there? They encapsulate that stuff and make it appealing not only to the people within those communities, but to the world community. Come see how we live together. Milwaukee does that to a great extent too. Summerfest is one place, or the ethnic festivals that happen there. Can we take it to a next level? I think we can, in a lot of different ways. I think some of the things they consciously do in the Twin Cities, Detroit, and other places with that diverse community is to use it to make inroads into the global community. How do you take the Southeast Asian community and help you with working overseas in those communities to expand trade and a number of other different economic development or cultural exchanges that enriches everybody's lives? Some communities have been able to cultivate that better than Milwaukee. I think people like Sharon Sells Belton, Dave Bing, Cory Booker, and them look at the human assets and say, how do we take this and make their communities the envy of the country? I believe I bring that to the table. And it's not because I'm necessarily black. It's because I understand a human existence. And I'm a very, very good public administrator. I think given the opportunity to provide leadership in my community from the mayor's office, what I would like to do is, one, bring us up to date in the 21st century, but also build that bridge to the 22nd century. And that is looking at things from a more innovative, creative point of view. And I think maybe the way I was brought up, and maybe being one that people view as an African American, might bring a little more pizzazz or creativity than what we've been getting in the past. That's not to say there aren't creative people there that can do this job, and there aren't creative people in this race. But maybe I just bring that little something different that Milwaukee needs at this time to take us to the next level. I kind of feel that inside of me, but it's really going to be up to our Lord and the people to decide if that is the case. So.